Hello everyone. Can you just acknowledge me? Am I audible or not? And what about like if my screen is visible? Okay. Let's start with the today's session. We are going to make a certain design for our landing page. Okay. I hope like yesterday you all guys have particularly I would say not yesterday, but on Saturday we had a session about installing the app of the React. Correct. Uh, a folder actually. Okay, I hope you all are being done with that. Correct. So as of today, we are starting with that now. Okay, so let's start. Open your Visual Studio. Add the style components in that. npm install style components, and also over here in the project or in this you can add the style component extension. Okay, VS Code this style component you can install this. Okay, and after that, if we will run this with the npm start, so you will be seeing that I would say particular just in default page would be obtaining, that is with a React icon. Correct. So you just need to make certain things with this or React components and all. We can remove this, and particularly we'll be adding something more and styling it and all. Okay, just to learn about this, like we will be performing it, but it's better if you will be playing with the code yourself in the substance to appear more opportunities. Correct. So suppose if I'll give only in app.js, I'm just giving only and only dev. Okay, I'm only and only going to give a dev. Let's say I'm doing one thing, I'm just appearing the screen and that screen simultaneously. Okay, let's say like if I'm adding a div and the div class name is app, let's say we are adding an heading h1, closing that heading, let's say it's in hello world. Okay, it's in hello world and all, so you can see that it is appearing over here. Correct. You're having the class name over here, so we'll give this class name as a container. Okay, so it would be bringing everything to there over here. We can style it a class name and all, and then css it already have a class name as style and all, so we can add a style component over here instead of this. Let's say instead of div class name and all, we can add it over here. Okay, let's say we are adding a container class, a container. Okay, a container. After that, again over here, let's remove it. Okay, in that particular stance, we are wrapping like this. This is going to make an error as in break off with that. So in the source folder, as in I would say over here, we are going to have a component folder. Okay, over here all the React components would be adding up on. Okay, in addition to this folder, we're going to add another folder that is styles. Okay, let's just style. Okay, like this. Okay, I hope till here you all have done. Let's say have a style. I think style is pretty good. Okay, so over here, like we will be strictly having a style components over here. Let's say we have a container dot styled, and yes, because it's a JavaScript file, correct? In the container dot style dot js, we're going to import style from style component. Import styled from style component. Just a minute, let me just check it. Import. Think this might get an issue. Component. Okay. Now, if I'll tell you about, like we are going to import style from style component, and we will creating a component container. If you guys are still getting the issue about the style components, you can simply write it npm install style components. Okay. Now we'll be adding over here the const and a container. We're creating a component container. Okay, let's say it's a container. Okay. Now we will be styling it dot. So suppose we need it as a styled, and whatever the component we need it, like suppose like we have container. Okay. So we have the div and span, we can add whatever we need it, just like we have a div. Okay. Like we have it a div, you can add, and I would say particularly I would say span also. Okay. And we'll add the backticks over there. Okay. In this you can have your CSS. Let's say we have done with a width and pixel max width, you can add it. Okay. Let's say it's 100%. Okay, like this. And we are adding a padding. Let's say we have 0 and 20 pixel. And we are adding a margin over here. Let's say we have a margin of zero and auto. It is just in regular CSS. Okay. You need to check this. You can simply add a background color. Okay. Okay. Run this again, and particularly we need to import it now. Now we will be going toward the app.js. Over here, we will be writing import. You can remove this. Okay. You can write import. So it's not a default. We'll add the curly braces. In this, we will be adding container. Let's say container. Our file is from which one we have. Suppose we have it from the component folder, correct? Under that, in component folder, we have style folder. In that style folder, we have container.style, correct? This time. Okay. Issue is there. We just check it. Container. Okay. Just container export. Let's see. What is there? Okay. Like this. Okay. Export. Let's say we have 100 pixel width. Max height that. And in this, we have a container written as an H1. Okay. Let's save it. Okay. The backticks are there for the container. Let's say for the style div. Okay. Just having it for the style div. And you will see that a width is there, a max width is there, padding is there, and the margin is there. You can see it is in a center. Correct? This thing. So now we will be making one more of file actually under the components. Okay. Just make a new file, header.js. Okay, like this. So you can check it like we have it in this as in the styles folder, and this is in the component folder. Okay, with the snippet, our RFCA. Okay, be doing one thing is we will be exporting and returning to this. Okay, you can write it RFC. Okay, you have the header over here. You have a devs as a header. Okay, like this. Suppose in the dev, let's make it as a header, and particularly over here too. Let's close it. And over here, I'm just going to make an H1 and close it with the section of the H1. Okay, let's say herbal. Now we're going to bring this in an our app.js, okay, in this particular section. So we need to add or import from component folder, import what? Import header from component folder, okay. Now above the container, we need to we need to wrap everything. We will use this for wrapping, okay. Now above the container, we will put our header component, okay, like this, and we will make it self close. Okay, you can see the hubble is there. Where? Correct. So I need to just over here in header.js, I need this to have its own style component. Okay. So in this we will be containing one more file for the only in owner header. So let's say let's have it as an header, as an header style. Yes, okay. I hope everyone is working along with me. Everyone over here is working along with me only. Say yes or no. Okay. So we will be adding now over here over here we will be importing the styled, or let's say styled, okay, from the style component. Now we are going down export. We would be having it as an okay. Now in this header, let's say it's not keep it as a styled header or not keep it as a header. Let's give it as an styled header. Okay, let's give it as a styled header. And name of the component in this. Okay, like const is also there. And over here we will be giving it as a style. Okay, this thing. Uh, then we'll be styling it off. Okay, let's see about the styled header now. Like this. Okay, then we will give a backtext over here. And let's say we need to give any background. Okay, let's say like we have it as an give a hexadecimal value. Say like we have EB, FB, FF, okay, like this to this. Okay, then let's give a padding 40 pixel. Let's say 40 pixel and 0. Okay, now we will be presenting a regular header, I would say our component over here. Above the export, let's say import, we would be importing into color braces styled header like this from our styles header dot styles, correct? This time. Now over here we will be writing our instead of header. Let's say we have styled header. Okay, like this, and after that we are going to clear it like this. Okay, now you can see that we have the color changing in the background. This color, correct? So we have the padding too, correct? So now if you have worked with a nested CSS or anything, okay, so you can particularly, like suppose in this only, if you need to give it as an H1, as an let's say a color red, okay, let's say this a color red, and if you need to change it with a hover or anything or anything states like that, suppose you need to give it a hover and percent, and we will present that element over here, like suppose dot hover, like suppose background color, okay, suppose the background color, or let's say green. Okay, now if you'll see that if I'll be hovering over here, okay, now if I'm hovering over here, you can, the color is changing, correct? So but it isn't just in the hovering, it's nested part. Okay, you just need to use the ampersand over here. Okay, let's remove it. So you can pass it a props to an component too. Suppose if I need to pass it as an BG or color, just passing it a prop or anything over here. Okay. Suppose let's give it as an color, write it as an of red. Okay, like this. We can access over here too. Okay, we can write it over here. You can write it over here money sign back curly braces. Okay, we can add it a function. Okay, props, and then for that you can pass a props dot pg. Okay, over here, and you can see then I would say the output of it, correct, over here as an of this props purpose, correct. You can do it like this as in passing the props in. Okay, So similarly, you can go with these as an of images, content. I would say add a background images and all like this only. Okay, you can add in themes also. You can add anything over here. Okay, like this you can do it. Edit out to any one of you. It's just an implementation. I mean, you can make it something very good. Like implementing the concept to your own projects or anything, you can add it to that. An implementation actually. How we can going to make a particular, I would say, the conditional parts of the different imports, components, styling them, adding them, correct? So that how you can do it. I think any doubt to anyone till here. Any doubt to anyone, just write it on chat section. I'm dropping off the attendance of both class, day 5 and day 6 actually. Okay. So this attendance would be considered for both days, day 5 as well as the day 6. Okay, make sure everyone fills that form because this is really important if you guys are going to fill this form because it is valid for day 5 as well as day 6 both. I hope this is clear to you all. Thank you so much for being in the session. I hope like whatever we have studied or anything, you will definitely implement it. Okay, and make sure like whatever the concept we have went through about importing, exporting, making our components, implementing that. Make sure everyone should implement in particular section. Okay. Yes. Thank you, everyone.